You're listening to
KPCRadio.com.
Hi, it's Wednesday, December 10th at 2 p.m. and welcome to Tavian's Talk of the Town, weighing in what's hot in the headlines. Each show will cover news in our community and in the world as it affects us all in some way. We're going to be discussing certain topics to inform and educate you, the listener. But the big news on campus is that there's only a few weeks of school left in the semester. Students and faculty are trying to get in those last-minute details with finals, grades, and preparing for winter session or spring semester. There are many different courses and programs that Pierce College offers to promote student success and graduate with your associate's degree. We have the agricultural program, nursing program, and the media arts program. The media arts program includes broadcasting, photography, cinema, public relations, journalism, and multimedia. Throughout the semester, you've had the opportunity to listen to KPCRadio.com. But what you didn't know is that it's no easy task to run this operation smoothly. To weigh in on the topic, joining us today in studio is Matt Gottesman, Pierce College student, journalism major, and the program director of KPCRadio.com. Hey, Matt.
Hi, Tavian. Thanks for having me on.
Wonderful. I'm so happy to have you here today. On this side of the window.
Yeah, this is new for me.
Is this your first time being on this side?
No, I was on here with my show Speakeasy a few semesters ago, but it has been a minute.
Oh, okay. It's so cool to just have you sitting on this side and not looking at you. But Mareo, he is on the other side of the booth. He's running the show today. Mareo is the assistant program director. So thank you, Mareo, as well. So, Matt, let's talk. So when did you get interested in multimedia?
I came to Pierce for the roundup, and I was on the paper for a little bit, and I heard about KPCRadio.com and went into Broadcast 10, and I had a blast. I had a wonderful time with Charlie Knapp and Nick McNamara as Mario's dancing. It's fun. That must be what I look like the whole time over there. Like, I'm always doing all these gesticulations and all.
That is what you look like on the other side.
Lovely. And it was really fun. I found it, it's nice to have a voice, more literally, like actually come out. It's a whole new dimension of media. I've been a writer my whole life, and when I found microphones, it's a whole new world of fun.
Mm-hmm. You fell in love with the microphone?
I have always loved microphones, but now that I get to use them for news, it's two great things. It's fun.
So when you were younger, did you do anything else artistic? Did you draw or what?
I've been a drummer for most of my life and a musician, and I try to keep that up still. I'm a bit more focused on college and work now, but music is, I like to say, one of my first languages. I see music and English as very much parts of me and how I talk.
Were you in a band?
I am in an outfit called T Call Sun now, and it's a lot of fun with them. I'm trying to be as minimalistic as I can with them, and it's a very, I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of the lead guy, or I guess I could say our guitarist, who kind of helped form the whole thing, Nelson Albuquerque, who was on this station earlier this semester, I think with Timothy Morales' Newsical. He's very kind of tribal or Native American-oriented sound, and it's much, much slower than what I'm used to, and I use much less equipment usually when I go on stage, which is fun. Because we have a flautist, and I always envy him because he just brings a flute. I'm like, I got a whole car full of stuff.
Got a whole car, and he's just got one little flute. What instrument do you play? The drums?
Mostly, yeah.
You've been playing the drums since you were a kid?
Since I was about 11. I got it for my 11th birthday.
Oh, wow. But it was loud at that house.
None of my neighbors ever liked me that much.
They never liked you.
Soundproofing is not as easy as you'd think.
So do you guys have any upcoming shows?
Yeah, we're playing at the Pig and Whistle this Friday, I think around 9? No, 8. And then we're playing at the Los Angeles Producers Club in Northridge, I think. The show starts around 9 on Saturday, and those are the two upcoming ones.
Nice. So you got a lot of things going on.
I like being on stage. I never quite left it when I went on.
Oh. So does it get complicated at all, learning video and writing and radio and all together? Is it ever complicated? Or does it just work for you?
I don't know if it's either. The thing is I do my best to be me with a microphone, to be me with a pen or on stage, and really when I'm working, do what's asked of me and the best I can, and try and stay humble and listen to other people's opinions of my work and what I should do, and just kind of integrate them. It's just talking, on a newspaper, or talking on a microphone, or talking with a drum set. I don't mean it's like not hard. It can be incredibly trying throughout the,
Because even though it's still expression and it's still entertainment, it's sometimes you have to think a certain way if you're doing radio, and you have to write a certain way if you're doing newspaper. Is that complicated for you, or does it run smoothly?
I think there's different. I think the word is ethos for both of them. Like that's right. The doctor's pointed at me. It's like the word is ethos. It's the character or tone or voice where I'm coming from. So, and that applies if I'm writing strict hard news where my opinion has nothing to do with anything.
You don't have it. No, you don't have any opinion. No.
I tried to. That's the art, the struggle of it, right? Is that when I'm writing a hard news piece, I am doing my best to omit my own lens.
Take yourself out of it.
Yeah, and it's hard because a lot of times I'm getting the sources, I'm asking the questions, and I'm writing it. So, and that's the point, is I just try to let my audience or the readers come to their own conclusions, and that's, I think, one of what news is about. And then, on the other side of things, when I'm doing an opinion piece, like I just wrote a review for the roundup for the play.
You did. Good job.
Thanks. It was my first article of the whole semester, and it didn't come naturally. It was like I had to get the wheels turning again to write and be comfortable with a keyboard and be comfortable with my voice, and it didn't happen immediately, but people seem to like it.
I read it. It was really good, and I'm glad you got it. It was our last issue of the roundup, everybody, so the semester is really coming to a close. But so writing in news, do you feel like you can get more out and you can be yourself and be more expressive when you are behind the microphone, when you're on the laptop, when you're in the studio? Does that give you more expression?
Really neat question. It depends how you mean what you say when you say expression. Because I'm able to, going to get news and being more investigative, if you will, about it is a journey. And I get to find and piece all these things together. Mm-hmm. And then as a journalist, it's how I present it, how I tell the story, how I make the lead, how I set the mood, if there is any mood to set. And that in its ways, as an artist, if I could say myself, that's kind of an art. Mm-hmm. And then there's my more flowery review or, storytelling, poetry, whatever language that I use for things like the reviews or going on stage and playing the drums or whatever, spoken word and stuff like that.
What's your favorite thing about KPCRadio.com?
Though this is my favorite place on campus. I love being in here. It's so quiet.
If anybody doesn't know, he's always here. If you're looking for him, he's in this very room where we're sitting now.
I wish it was open more. I'm rarely here before, most of the advisors. I am a late riser. It's hard to really kick my circadian rhythm back to, waking up in the single digits. But when I'm here, sometimes I don't want to leave, and it's nice to have a computer and some microphones and people to put on them and to mix stuff. It makes KPCRadio.com sound good.
You are busy. So Matt has won. I'm just going to float your boat for a minute, but Matt has won first place for podcast at Pierce College. He's won second place for news writing at Pierce College, first place for documentary, and third place for broadcast news writing at JACC. Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Yay!
Yeah. My favorite one is I guess I'm going to mention more. One more. I got second place in the state for a podcast, and the funny story about it is that I was at JACC at, I think it was Burbank or somewhere. And I heard my name announced, and I was like, "Oh, I wonder who's calling." Oh my God, I got an award! and then a month thereafter, I thought it was for the documentary, which I felt I had done a good job on, but it was just on the podcast, which I did a bit more quickly, I'll say. And I had gone around for a month, telling my sources on the documentary, "Hey, you're an award-winning documentary," when I was telling them about the wrong award. It was funny.
Well, that's the way it works out sometimes, right?
There's a lot of trip-ups, and I just got to roll with them constantly.
What kind of trip-ups are going on in the studio that we may not know about? What's your day like as, working through the day and these trip-ups?
The main thing is just getting the news and the shows out in a timely manner, as you should for news. And that's, it's a process of writing the descriptions, hoping the reporters get their descriptions to me and their sources' names, making sure they're spelled correctly, because I don't want to spell anything, especially misspell anything like a source or a person that I want to respect on the website wrong. That's what I meant. And keeping the website up to date, getting streaming. I'm finding out a bunch about software is its own animal. Mm-hmm. And we're going through the motions of getting a new streaming service. It has had a few hiccups, but I should say Doc, or I should say Mareo, however you want your name to be anywhere, it's hard to keep up, has been really helpful, has been a rock, as in getting this all going, and keeping it going, rather. So thanks, dude.
Thanks, Mario. So you're constantly working and learning every day. What's the hardest thing that you've run into? What's the most complicated thing here?
That's a wonderful question. I would say other people. I think, I like working with news, and I need to be with other people all the time, and that's always going to change. So I want to try and keep myself as consistent as plugging away, and as listening and open. I talk a lot, man. But, I
listen a lot, so it works out. This is how we maintain to work through an entire semester. He's a good talker, and I'm a good listener.
So, I would say it's maybe the hard part, but also, if I could be a little artistic about it, the beautiful part is that it's other people. I get to be with them. It's a gift. It's wonderful. And I try to stay humble. I try to stay listening, and yeah, that's the fun and hard part.
And you are a good speaker. You do spoken word, right?
I do.
I know it. He does spoken word.
I found spoken word actually at the same time I found KPCRadio.com.
Really?
Yeah. So when I came to my first show, the first semester of B10, that Jeff said, our advisors, like, we need you come with a show pitch, and I was like, I have no idea what I am doing, but I remembered years before that I had gone to the Cobalt Cafe and performed spoken word because I thought it would be a good idea. And I had fun and didn't do it for a few years. So then I was like, what would be great is find a community which is accessible and around, which is the spoken word community in the Valley and Los Angeles and throughout California and throughout the United States. I've met a lot of people. And have them come on and talk about their process and pitch their poetry and have fun in the studio. And I called it Speakeasy. And then in that I was like, oh wait, I still like doing this. And then I did it. And so, speaking of which, the Cobalt Cafe, which has been in Southern California, as my friend and former guest and poet Cyrus Epipodi put it, the new mecca for poets in the Valley, is closing come the new year. And I just went to one of their last open readings last night. They have another one next Tuesday, and then they're having a potluck closing shindig the 30th. And it's I got a little sad when I went up there last week.
I feel sad now because it started off it sounded like a lot of fun, and now they're having a last show.
It was the first place I ever played music, the first place I ever made any money as a writer, the first place I ever performed spoken word, and it's it's been there a long time.
Man.
And it's a lot of Valley bands got their name there. Slayer played there, Incubus played there, Linkin Park played there. And it's just a little dingy, bad-sounding room with lots of fun and people and a stage. Those
are always the best places.
Yeah.
I think it's the hole in the wall that has the best food, and
Yep.
The grungy places that has the best music. So I can totally understand.
And it's basically getting to this radio. It seems hard to say I could have done that without it. That's the fun part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I know you've met some interesting people playing in a band, doing spoken word. What is your most interesting guest that you've ever had on this show? Right here at KPCRadio.com.
They're all really interesting. And if I could crack them open all the same as a good host, I bet they'd all be really, really interesting. Yasemin Safarzadeh comes to mind. I saw her last night at the Cobalt, and I really see her as a like mind, someone to whom I can relate on a lot of different levels, with whom I could work and just have fun. And sheer poetry is so it's captivating, and we're both very visual about her performances. She kind of sways. She's just the right amount of offensive. I dig it. Mm-hmm. And she's a force on stage. Sean Hill comes to mind immediately. God, I love that guy. he's such a positivist. He's relentlessly hopeful and infectious as such. And he's doing a lot of things. He just never stops working as an actor, as a writer, as a poet. He's published with Jason Brain and C.R. Cohen in their recent book called I Write. It's a collection of poetry, where in the first half, which is really cool because the three poets wrote the book, but for the first half, you don't know which poet wrote which one. And it's like knowing them personally each, it's really fun to read because I go, oh.
Did you know who was who when you were
Sometimes, because I've heard them pitch it live, but other times I was just trying to figure it out.
Like, who is this?
Yeah, it's really cool.
That was a really cool way to write it.
I've also had Jason Brain and Chelsea Cohen on the show. They're pretty great. Jason Brain has been instrumental in... He brought Soapbox Sessions to the Valley. Chelsea Cohen is an inspiration. She has a very strong voice. And there's a lot of people I admire that I found through this, yeah.
What's some words of advice that you would give students here on campus that are interested in multimedia?
Do it.
Come on down.
Yeah, just go for it. It's a journey. I don't know. You get to learn a lot of things. I love sound. I love sound. I am a terribly non-visual person. I'm the most non-visual person I have ever met. But I still took Photo 100 over the summer and had a blast doing it. And it's just be open to saying things out loud. That's like once I got behind the mic, every time, something, I often say things I don't quite mean. I will look back at them, and I probably look back at a bit of this show probably and go, oh, I didn't mean to say it like that. But that always happens because I'm me and I'm a person. I have insecurities, I have self-consciousness, and it can be, whatever, but just go for it. It helps me grow in different ways. I'm more comfortable in front of people as a direct result of being a part of the Pierce Media Arts Department.
I was going to say that. Does it help your self-esteem? Does it make you feel more comfortable? You're used to just coming on the air doing your job?
It is everything. Yes. It has helped so much.
I love it too.
Yeah.
I do. So where do you see KPCRadio.com in a few years? What are you guys working on now?
Well,
any improvements? Or
I think the main thing is I want to become a broadcast outlet more than just a radio, more multimedia, if you will, more ways to get out to people and more peer-centric and more just finding new ways to flesh out content and get people involved. Finding, I don't know. I'm easily distracted. Doc was making numbers. I think I want to be a broadcast outlet. Video would be great. I think that gets people in and just keep concentrating. When I came as program director this semester, the last semester we had the most shows we've ever had for the semester, and which is, I guess, daunting, but the main thing I wanted to concentrate on is making good radio. Make sure that the hosts are up to par and just keep plugging away.
Yeah, and you keep me on my toes, so.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, I try.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Make me a better host and better on-air personality, so I appreciate it.
Right back at you. Appreciate listening. Self-validation on air. Hooray.
You heard it here first. Matt Gottesman. So how long, when you leave Pierce College, what are your plans? Where are you going from there?
What a stupendous question. I like journalism and I want to do that. Wherever it lands, I'm hopefully going to get an internship at KPCC or KCRW. I want to keep writing, that's for sure, and I want to play more music. I need to get a career. It's going to happen soon, hopefully. I'm just doing it.
With this voice...
Oh, gosh golly.
And he's easy on the eyes, too. He's going to book the best thing coming, trust me.
Shucks.
Very easy on the eyes. Tell me something, because I'm usually sitting on this side and you're on that side. You're in the booth, the engineering side. What's something that no one would ever expect that happens on that side that I have no clue that's happening on this side?
Computers are fun. So I don't know, a few times last semester and this semester, the computer would just kind of, the Mac over there would just kind of, while we're recording a show, stop. And I kind of figured out what the problem was with that. It had to do with limiting the amount of cores.
Mid-show, the computer just stopped?
And with Pro Tools, which we're using over there, if it just stops, then the show's still going on. I just lost, a few seconds or a minute of audio, and I didn't know it stopped the whole time. So I'm going to go, hey, nothing just happened, even though you were in the studio for a little bit. Sorry.
Everything's absolutely perfect.
No. N-O, no. not the case. Oh, I don't know. It's just a lot of buttons being pressed, and I got. It's a very smart way to put it, Matt. I'm pressing buttons constantly. I don't know. You can probably see it. It's fun. It's you get in a rhythm and just get stuff online.
He's a nice looking button presser that's won first place for podcast, documentary, news writing. So I will toot his own horn.
And I don't take compliments very well.
He's squirming in his seat.
God. Yes, you can hear it apparently. Thanks, Dave.
Oh man, did you have anything else that you would like to put out there on kpcradio.com? And I just want to say I appreciate you all semester taking good care of us here and running the show nice and smooth, and I appreciate that.
Well, sure. I would like to thank you. Thank you so much for having all these shows, for listening and just talking back and jiving. And thanks to all the reporters for doing that and getting shows up and being here and understanding and offering their understanding, and especially to the advisors who have put some trust in me, it feels like, and have guided me and given me some responsibility that I've been dealing with and working with. So I should shout out again to Mareo, who's been really, really helpful, to Hasna and Milo, who have just unending helpfulness and encouragement by just being them and doing what they do. The Hernandez brothers have their show, and they keep coming and doing that. That's amazing. To all the hosts, to Bob Lafrano, he still has a great show.
Oh, yeah.
He just comes in here just all the time, bringing in a guest, and just has great radio. It's wonderful. I could go on. L.J. Williamson she has been freelance for KPCC and LA Weekly and LA Times, and she's in here, and that's fantastic. She has
Look
so
at
much.
us.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's going down at Pierce College.
And she has a really good show, and she has this really cool solo one speed. I hope I'm saying that right. Solo something that a guy who makes the music for this very Zappa inspired like electro stuff that gets to do the intro and outro for her show. It's fun to just listen to, and then she has a great voice, she has great conversation, great guests. So do a lot of them. The Navigator, I could go on with Katerina Christofis, getting better all the time. Farsi show with Henny Abbasi. Thank you, Henny. I don't understand the words, but I'm looking at them. The guests are leaving happy. She's doing a great job.
She's doing a great job.
She's excited about it every time, and I can't wait to hear your guys' documentaries coming up soon.
We've been working hard on that and driving you crazy with that as well. So thanks for letting us drive you crazy with that.
Drive me any crazier. It's fine.
I'm telling you, we drive him absolutely nuts. But Matt, I had so much fun. That was so much fun.
It was.
That's all the time we have for today, and that is a wonderful way to sign off for my last show of the season at Tavian's Talk of the Town.
Can we get a quick on-air high five?
High five,
okay.
Man. If our listeners have any questions about the Media Arts Program, how can they get in touch with you? What do they need to do?
Well, you hit me up at mgottesman.kpcr@gmail.com. But I'll spell the easier one, which is studio.kpcr@gmail.com. We'll get all your emails there. A bunch of my advisors, directors have it, including me. Come by the Media Arts Department. If you hit up that email, I'll get you there. studio.kpcr@gmail.com. That's probably the best way.
And if you're looking for him, just come knock on the door. He's definitely in the studio.
Most likely.
It's my pleasure doing this show right here on kpcradio.com because it gives professionals the platform to inform Pierce College students, faculty, and other listeners about getting educated on this topic. And I'm so glad, Matt, that you were here to give us all the information and answers that we need. You've been listening to Matt right here on kpcradio.com. Thanks for joining me for Tavian's Talk of the Town.
Woohoo! Yeah, I should have kept that on it.
That was so good. Oh, I feel sad.
It's okay. That was fun.
I feel sad.
Can we get that back on? Whatever just happened, a little laughing.
I know, I wish I would have had
Yeah, shucks. Totally should have get that on.
What do you want me to do?
No, we're fine. It's all good.
I should have left the recording while you were doing all that.
Were you recording?
Nah.
Do it again.
No, it's not gonna work.
It's not going to be the same.
Yeah, it's not the same. It's all right. Good stuff. Let's go put it online and stuff.
Usually that's when we cut off, of course.
Oh, we need a picture of us.
Okay. Picture time. Picks your time. Yeah, that's how we doing it right here on KPCRadio.com. Mwah! Thanks for everything, Mario, and hanging out with me for Tavian's Talk of the Town. Oops.
I forgot about that. I'm like, who's she talking to?
You know what time it is.
We'll see you next time.